wanted to do this tour it's about us. I have these two small unemployed people that live in my house. I don't know how they got there. I don't know why they think I am Uber. But they are almost, I was gonna say they're wonderful kids. These children were trained by Al-Qaeda. I don't know where they came from, but they do play sports. And what I've noticed about them is that after a big game, after a tough game,
band finishes in 30 minutes.
When they lose.
List that we never sound checked is going to come out. Ria Zenobia.
That you kind of have to give them 10 minutes, 15 minutes to just be upset, to just be mad, especially if it's a big game and they really wanted to win and they lost. And you know, the other team sucks and the referee cheated and Comey and the Russians and, you know. And you just have to give it to them, you know, for about 10 or 15 minutes. But by the time you get in a car and you're driving home, at some point, if you're a good parent, you have to ask the question, was there anything that we could have done differently? Was there anything that we could have done to have a better outcome? Because I don't think you're going to be a championship team just criticizing the other teams. I just don't think that's going to happen for you. So, it's been about 8-9 months. I'm a Christian. Even Jesus only stayed in the tomb for 3 days. And y'all still look miserable. And so I just wanted to go around the country and talk to us just face to face, no TV cameras. I don't have a Trump supporter to my left or my right, hallelujah. I can just talk. About what I think we need to learn if we're going to get the country back that we want. And I'm not even talking about Republicans versus Democrats. I'm just talking about people who have a certain set of values. I think there are 3 things we need to accept that are easy to ignore, but ignoring them hurt us. Number 1, here's a messy truth. Both political parties suck. They both suck. I mean, so, you know, that's kind of a problem. We like to pretend that only one party sucks. But Democrats and Republicans in the 1990s signed off on mass incarceration. Democrats and Republicans in the 1990s said it was okay to build prisons everywhere. It was Democrats and Republicans who signed off on NAFTA and all these terrible trade deals that wiped out all these jobs. It was Democrats and Republicans who said, let's deregulate Wall Street. You know, all the problems in the world. But the biggest problem? The bankers are oppressed. Free the bankers. Leave Pookie in prison, but free the bankers. What could possibly go wrong? And we lost $1 trillion and 1 million homes. Both parties said that was a great idea. Both parties said, let's go and get involved in these dumb wars overseas. So, that leads me to my second point. Hurt people holler. Hurt people holler. When you have a bipartisan elite failure of a country that leaves millions of people in pain, they're gonna holler. And you're going to have an age of rebellion, which is what we are in. You're going to have Black Lives Matter jump up, and you're gonna have the Tea Party jump up. You're gonna have Occupy Wall Street jump up, and you're gonna have Trump and them jump up. You're gonna have Bernie Sanders jump up. You're gonna have all of these rebellions because the people have been let down. The rebellions are justified. Now, when Black Lives Matter holler, I like the way it sounds. When the Tea Party hollers, I don't like the way it sounds. But hurt people holler. And number 3, I hate to say this, I think we drew our circle too small on the left. It's tough because it's become very fashionable to be in this new style of so-called discussion and debate. And I contribute to it every night on television, so I'm being a hypocrite. But just hear me out. It's now fashionable on both sides to be all projection, no reflection, okay? It's all now about assigning blame. It's not about taking responsibility on both sides. And if you then try to come forward and try to take some responsibility, you're almost seen as a traitor. You're almost seen as somehow joining the other team. And so people don't want to be honest. People are afraid to tell the truth to each other, so we just keep recycling the same thing over and over again. Yeah, they suck, they suck. Yeah, they suck, they suck. Oh, they're snowflakes, they're snowflakes. Oh, they're bigots, they're bigots. And at some point, I think we drew our circle too small. We got very good at defending the people who have been traditionally left out. And I'm so proud of us for that. I'm so proud of us for sticking up for the Muslim community. Which, by the way, why are we mad at the Muslims? I just want to point out
one long song, or she's doing
that they have the lowest crime rate of any group in America. They have the highest educational attainment for women of any group in America. They have the lowest divorce rate. Listen, if a Muslim family moved next door to you, you should be very happy because the chances of your children getting in trouble just went way down. Went way down. Because Muslims are awesome. They're the best group. So why are we mad at them? Most of the terrorism is being committed by non-Muslims. So I don't get it. So I'm proud that we stood up and stood with the Muslims. I'm proud of what we've done with LGBT. And we're going to keep doing it. And there will be transgender folks serving in the military. And there will soon be a transgender person in the White House. So y'all just have to deal with that. Just have to deal with that. I'm proud of what we've done sticking up for the immigrants, the newcomers, 11 million people who are the backbone of this economy. And not just in the fields, not just in the service sector. You go down to Silicon Valley, there's an app being made right now by somebody who ain't got no papers. So I don't know why you want them to leave. I like my Twitter. So I'm proud that we stood with Black Lives Matter. I'm proud that we stood with all the people who've been traditionally left out and spat on and shoved to the side. And I'm especially proud that we're in the middle of the biggest upsurge for feminism and women's empowerment probably in the history of the world. I'm especially proud of that. Wonder Woman ain't no joke. Wonder Woman ain't on the screen. So, proud of all that. Proud of all that. But there's some newly marginalized folks that I don't think we had on our radar screen. And I don't think they were wrong to think that maybe we don't love them very much. I had the opportunity to go to coal country because some coal miners had had their pensions stolen and their health care stolen by a big coal company. And I wanted so much for the environmental community to do something about it.
Spot pickup.
I couldn't get any environmentalists to take me seriously. The coal miners, well, we're against coal, so I said, well, I mean, you can be against coal, but do you have to be against people? I mean, if you're a sick, retired coal miner, you're by definition not in the mines. So I said, I'm gonna go myself. And I'm going to try to do something to help this issue, this cause. Because I knew if a coal company had hurt some critters or some birds, it would be, we'd be marching down the street. I didn't realize until I got there how ignorant I was. So I show up, dressed in a full suit, with a tie, and there's going to be a march, and the coal miners are going to march. They're going to march on this coal company that ripped them off. And I thought to myself, this is good for me. If they were going to do something that had to do with going into a coal mine, I would not be good. Me going down in dark holes, not good. But protest, I'm from the Bay. We protest good. We got protest skills. I got a protest resume. You go to LinkedIn and double click on my stuff, so I'm ready for a protest. Trust me. So we get there, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna break out some Bay Area chants and get it going. So I'm like, hey, all right, you guys ready? Let's go. Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power. Awkwardly enough, none of the coal miners joined in. So I thought maybe I had gone too fast, so I tried to slow it down again. Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no, I wasn't even. So then I started taking it personally. I know I'm black, but you gotta be rude about me. I'm just trying to participate. True story. One of the wives comes over to me. She patted me on my elbow. And she said, Van, they can't chant. They have black lung disease. They can't chant and they can't sing. That's why we're here. I don't care who they vote for. I don't care who they vote for. They can vote against us, and they can vote against me every time. But I don't want them to die. Because they're sick, because they risk their lives and their lungs and their bodies to go down in some holes to keep the lights turned on for me and you. I don't want them to die. I don't want them to die. I want them to live a long time and vote against me every time I'll go pick them up. What happened to that? What happened to that with us? We are in danger of becoming the thing that we are trying to oppose. We are in danger. We are in danger. People say, Ben, how can you reach out to these Trump voters? These Trump voters. When they say Trump voter, I mean, you think and I almost feel bad, like I did something wrong. But I had an experience that I don't think enough people who shared that experience have talked about. But I worked in the Obama White House. And racism is nothing new in America. I remember we would get, every time there was an article about President Obama in the New York Times, in Time Magazine, Washington Post, you read the article, don't read the comments. Don't read the comment section. N-word, N-word, N-word. Ape, ape, ape. Monkey, monkey, monkey. In the New York Times, we would get emails. N-word, N-word, ape, monkey. We would get letters written out with the return address on the letter. I didn't say they were smart, I'm just saying. N-word, N-word, N-word. But you know what we called those hateful people? Do you know what President Obama and Michelle Obama call those hateful people? Our constituents. Our constituents. And the moral genius of Obama was that he risked his majority in Congress and bled out to get doctors to babies in red states where the parents were calling him a nigger every day. That was the moral genius of the movement that we built. We didn't care what their parents were talking about. We didn't care who their parents voted for. We wanted those doctors to get to those babies. And we got those doctors to those babies. And we would have gotten more to those babies if Republican governors hadn't stood in the way. Because that's who we were. Is that who we are now? See, I love Obama and her husband. Don't leave him out. I don't want to leave him out. I love Obama and her husband. Because she said, when they go low, we go. When they go low, we go. When they go low, we go. And it took you 5 times to get there because you think it to yourself. When they go low, we go high. And they kick us in the nuts. I know you. Still in therapy, I know. I have some bad news for you before I close. You are going to fail trying to hate people. You are not going to succeed. I'm not saying you're going to fail because hatred is a bad strategy. We don't have to have that conversation. You suck at hating people. Y'all are too sensitive. You cry too easy. You just suck at hating, and you're just not gonna do it. So, keep trying. Good luck. But the great danger is not that you're going to fail somehow to change the Trump voters. And how can we change these Trump voters? How can we change the Trump voters? No, the danger isn't that you're going to fail to change the Trump voters. The danger is that the era of Trump is going to change you, and already has. And so that's why we have the Love Army. And that's why we're here. Because we just know you too well. You've always been this way. You've always been weird. You've always been weepy and worrying about critters. Little bitty kid, I'm worried about the polar bears. The polar bear would eat your ass. Why are you worried about the polar bear? Oh, the polar bear. You've been weird your whole life. You are not going to change for long. So, join us. Join us. Join the Love Army. Don't join the hate army. Don't join the cynicism army. Join the Love Army. We are working to close prisons. We need your help. We are working to pull the needles out of the arms of people who are addicted and who are dying, and we need your help. We are working to put solar panels and solar jobs in the hood. We need your help. We are working to get Silicon Valley, which is only 30 minutes from Oakland and 30 minutes from Baby Hunters Point and 30 minutes from the Mission District, to hire some young, brown, black, and yellow girls and boys, young women and men, and any other description down there so Silicon Valley can do a better job. We are working with Cut 50 and Green for All and Yes We Code and the Love Army, and we need your help. You know why? What? Oh, and the United Players. And the United Players. And the United Players, don't leave them out. You know why? Because it is completely and totally unfair for us to come to you after you've already worked your whole lives trying to be good liberals, and you've been kicked in the face by this election, and you're feeling sorry for yourself, and everything's miserable, and you are just so... And he said, it is unfair for you to come and tell me I have to love these people don't love me, why should I have to love them? Listen. It's a long ride home, huh? It's completely unfair for us to ask you to do it. And if you don't do it, who will? If you don't do it, who will? If we let the light go out, if we give up on love, if we give up on hope, if we give up on faith, you know who suffers? Those folks in Appalachia who have nothing, and the folks in San Quentin who are struggling, and the folks in South Central South Central Los Angeles who are struggling. We have common pain across the country, but we don't yet have a common purpose. Love Army is trying to bring this country back together, not from the top down. That didn't work. We got all the bad laws that way. We want to have a bipartisanship from below, with the real people who have real problems helping each other. Let's not turn on each other, let's turn to each other, and when it gets harder to love, love harder. Thank you very much, Love Army. We need you. Join us. We need you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Love Army. Love Army. Thank you very much.